So I figured I can talk while I take off my makeup. It is the end of the day. I am tired and my skin, I'm just gonna go ahead and let you know, is a hot mess. The seasons are changing and I am peeling like a reptile. Anywho, I just wanted to do a backstory about my salvation and all of that good stuff. Sorry, it's gonna be a little loud because I'm gonna be opening packages, taking off makeup wipes, my glasses. So excuse me if I go cross-eyed. Anywho, it wasn't people, I won't even say people, but just walking in the Christian faith can be very difficult and it can be very phony. Now, my mom has dragged me and my brother to Baptist churches most of our lives. Now, most of the times the sermons are motivating and all that good stuff. They really want you to be encouraged, be in faith, and all of that, and God will provide and do all these things. However, we were struggling, okay? We were broke. So, with that being said, I remember sitting in church. I was a teen who was sexually active, partying on the weekends, but I went to work. But trust and believe, I paid for my partying. But just partying on the weekends, just real wild. And the pastor was in the middle of his hooping portion of the sermon, which I do not like hooping to this day. I like to be taught. I don't like to be yelled at. But anyway, he was in the middle of the whooping portion of his sermon. And I remember telling God, I was like, all of this stuff that you have done in the Old Testament, all of these miracles and all of this that they always preaching about, I'm going to need to see that side of you if you want me to come to you. I remember telling God that. And I've learned in my walk that the way I wrote real hard, but the way he deals with me, he gives me pictures and examples, and he kind of puts me into situations. Well, I wouldn't say he puts me into situations, but usually he'll set me up so that I can learn from the craziness that I do. Exhibit A. One of my first encounters it wasn't my first encounter of the supernatural, because I thought for a long time that I was some kind of witch or something. I didn't know in ignorance that certain spiritual gifts are handed down, which my mom is a seer. I did not know that. And I too tend to have dreams about things and see things with my eyes wide open. Okay? But my norm was to be drunk before I went to the club on the weekend, be drunk after the club, go to the Waffle House, more than likely fall asleep in a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and be drunk on the way home, be drunk enough to be drunk on Sunday while I sang in the choir at church because my mom made me go. Anywho, this particular Saturday, I was like, I am not going to drink. I'm not going to have one drink. It was like the taste of alcohol had been removed from me. Very strange. But I remember that night in the club, it was jumping. You hear me? The DJ was on point and I'm on the stage dancing and I'm hyping up the DJ. And I look out into the crowd with my sober self. And I could see spirits on people's shoulders, and everyone who had a spirit on their shoulder, their eyes were like, I can't even describe it. And it's like those who had spirits on their shoulder, which was majority of everyone, their movements was like something off of a horror movie. They would be swaying to the music. You know, when the music have a beat going, everybody dancing, but you can see like it was broken down like it was a video that was going too slow, but you can still hear the music going at the right tempo, if that makes any sense. Yep. So I'm standing there next to the DJ and I'm looking at the DJ. And he looked cool. He just, got the headphones on or whatever. And I look back out in the crowd. Nothing changed. And I had to remind myself that I was sober. I wasn't drunk. I was very sober. So I asked my friend at the end of the night, I was like, was tonight strange to you? And she was a little tipsy because she was not sober. And she was like, no, it was a regular turn on. You were kind of dry, wet, semi-dry, but you were dry. Probably because you weren't drunk. I'm like, well, okay. But that was one of my first encounters of the supernatural that I remember. Now, I did not get saved until 5 or 6 years from that experience. Because, yes, I was in the club at 16, 17 prior to that. But, anywho, I didn't get saved until years after that. But I will say God did show me the things that we don't see in the natural world or in everyday life. Bless the Lord. But I say to you, if you are waiting on God to do a major move, if you are waiting for a change in your life, I will say sometimes God will give you exactly what you ask for. Sometimes you will get a push that you really think is for your hurt, but it is to help you. And God is always waiting on you to accept Jesus Christ and to come on in. However, you do not have forever. You only get one life in spite of what you told, and that sucker is short. So, accept Jesus as your personal Savior and live your best life. Because I don't care what church people say. Being saved is fun. And doing things in the Lord gives you great fulfillment and joy. All right. That's one of my many encounters. I think I'm going to start sharing all this stuff with you. This is my first video. And I may even have my mom on to go over some of the encounters and dreams that she has as well. So stay tuned.